Good afternoon. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikeji Lejesha, Osun State. Here's the global news at 12. First, the headlines. I am Shodunke Opeyemi David. President Bola Tinubu calls for strong ties between Nigeria and US to tackle cybercrime. Toppled Nigerian president to face military court. Ukraine peace summit holds in Swiss resort this weekend. President Bola Tinubu has called for stronger working ties between Nigeria's law enforcement agencies and the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) in tackling cybercrime. President Tinubu made this call on Friday while playing host to the FBI boss Christopher Ashare at the State House Abuja. He noted that the presence of the FBI boss alongside his team in Nigeria was a good sign that both countries were on the same page in fighting against cybercrimes and terrorism. Muslim faithfuls across the country are gearing up to celebrate this year's Eid, which comes up tomorrow. The federal government has declared Monday and Tuesday public holidays to mark the occasion. Our correspondent who went around some ram markets in some part of Osun said the cost of the animal is very high. A number of families have agreed to team up to purchase the animals for the occasion to beat the high cost. We hear the Ondo commander of Amotekun Corps, Akogun Adetunji Adeleye, has wrapped up plans to deploy no fewer than 1,000 men across the state ahead of the Salah festivities. Adeleye said the Corps members would be deployed around prayer grounds and markets to protect lives and properties. The Amotekun commander, who came out while parading some suspected criminals, said Operation Safe Ground was aimed at flushing out criminals in the state. The Minister of Youth Development, Jamila Ibrahim, says artificial intelligence is key to electoral development of the youth. Ibrahim said this while unveiling the Niger election, a generative artificial intelligence tool developed with support of the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office in Abuja. According to her, the Niger Electoral AI tool marked a new era in which every Nigerian can participate in the electoral process. The Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce says there is a need for Nigeria and businessmen to work on their strong and explore new frontiers. President of the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, Ray Atley, came out with this while speaking in Lagos ahead of a scheduled trade mission in the United Kingdom between the 24th and 28th of this month. Atley pointed out that the trade mission was critical, particularly at the time when Nigeria's economy needed a rebirth. Global news is reaching you on Vicinity 95.3 Ikeji Lejesha, Osun State. The news will continue shortly. Now to the rest of the news. The Tulip president of Niger Republic, Mohamed Bazoum, is to be tried by the military court. He and his wife have been held in the presidential palace since the coup in July last year. The ruling junta in Niger says he will be tried on the charges of treason, undermining national security, and financial terrorism. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has been re-elected for a second term. Ramaphosa was re-elected late yesterday by lawmakers after his party, the ANC, and the Democratic Alliance teamed up to form a unity government. You will recall that the ANC performed poorly during the parliamentary election last month, which deprived it of the strength to form the government alone. A Ukraine peace summit is being held at the Swiss resort near Lake this weekend. Dozens of world leaders are expected to take their seat at the gathering, which will look at ways to end the dialogue in Ukraine. We hear the Swiss meeting might produce a template for a peace process to the two-year-old war in Ukraine. It is the biggest gathering for Ukraine since the full-scale invasion by Russia. The American leader, Joe Biden, will not be attending in person. Meanwhile, the group of seven of the world's richest countries have agreed that $50 billion loan will be made available to Russia, will be made available to Ukraine from Russia assets. The funds are meant to help Ukraine fight Russian forces. United States President Joe Biden made it clear that the move was to show Russia the West has not backed down. The decision was taken at an ongoing summit being held in Italy. One of the high points of the meeting was the signing of a 10-year bilateral security deal between Ukraine and the United States. It was signed by the US leader Joe Biden and Ukrainian strongman Zelensky, who was in Italy for the summit. Under the move, the United States will take all possible steps to defend Ukraine in the wake of a further attack from Russia. And in sports, the Nigerian Flamingos have qualified for the 2024 Under-17 Women's World Cup after beating Liberia 6-1 goal aggregate. Nigerian striker Amonichidi second Amonichidi scored one goal in each half to ensure Nigeria won the second leg of the encounter. The match was played at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Friday. The first leg of the encounter had ended 4-1 in Nigeria's favor. This year's Under-17 Women's World Cup will run from October 16 to November 3 in the Dominican Republic. Nigeria finished third in the last edition, held in India in 2022, the second African side to earn that feat after Ghana did so in 2012. Just before we go, a quick look at the major highlights of the news. President Bola Tinubu has called for strong working ties between Nigeria's law enforcement agencies and the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) in tackling cybercrime. We also told you that the third president of the Niger Republic, Mohamed Bazoum, is to be tried by the military court. And he also heard that the Ukrainian peace summit is being held at the Swiss resort near Lake this weekend. That was the global news which came to you on Vicinity 95.3 FM Ikejile, Ijesha, Osun State. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the news production supervisor, Wilson Akpabio, I am Shodunke Opeyemi David, asking you to stay tuned.